And hello, Texas gravelers and cyclocrossers. It is time, and maybe even mountain bikers, it's time to start up the second week of the Texas Gravel and Cyclocross Happy Hour. I'm Brett Kinsey, owner of Capital City Racing. We really appreciate Heidi Armstrong with us last week. It was a little bit more serious, and we wanted to start off that way just to kind of take care of that serious issue with the COVID-19 and everything that everybody was facing with. And that was a really great one. I know quite a few people really appreciated that. But from here on out, it's all ridiculousness. Consider this kind of a cable access TV show with alcohol involved. So as per is expected with this, alcohol is involved. I am enjoying a very nice Austin East Cider's original dry cider, and I'll be enjoying that in my bicycle sports shop koozie. Special thanks to lots of the sponsors that we have. Obviously, Brad Houston has been supporting us for a long time, Cycling Law, Milla Johnny's, as well as Bicycle Sports Shop. So without further ado, open up your drinks and I'll introduce the first of our hosts. He shaved just for this episode. You know him, you love him. If you're a graveler, if you're a mountain biker, and he even did a little bit of cyclocross, please put your hands together through the internet and help me welcome Austin Walker. Oh, there he is.
Howdy.
How you doing this evening, sir?
Doing well.
What's your poison? What's your drink of choice today?
Tonight is a very small IPA, the Dune Boogie from Pint House, which just started serving again today. So I was very happy.
Nice. Yeah, would that be a tall boy?
Yeah, it's 32 ounces, so
right.
Somewhere in there.
That's a crowler, I think. Were you asking about that earlier? Okay, very nice. And so how's your week going? How you been doing?
Really well. Just going. Too much work. I'm ready for a little time off work, to be honest.
It's only Wednesday, man. Just come on.
Wait a minute.
Suck it up.
Yeah. No, I love work. Never mind.
Yeah.
I haven't had enough yet.
All right. Well, let's get our drink on, and at this time, I'll introduce our next host. She's a badass mountain biker. She's also a badass cyclocrosser. She's faster than all of us guys included. This is Miss Leslie Reuter. How you doing this evening, ma'am?
I'm doing great. Very excited for tonight.
I think you're chilling out by the pool, if I'm not mistaken, right? Is that what's going on?
I'm trying to hide that.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of the house because Sydney and JP are home for Mother's Day. I can't blame, or I'm happy they're here. But one of them is sleeping in the office where I have my best connection. The other one wants to watch TV, so I got booted to the backyard.
Well, it's not a bad place to be. I think when I change the shot up here in a second, we'll actually be able to see past your shoulders. And we're all going to be jealous. Oh, did you move? Oh, what a bummer. I don't have a pool in my backyard, so I'm a little bit jealous.
Well, okay, so I've never used my pool that much until this summer because when you're stuck home all the time, I'm like, I'll go read by the pool. I'll go sit in the pool. I'll go, and people are like, do you use your pool? And most of the time I say, never. I hardly ever use it. I look at it and it looks nice, but I rarely get in it.
I would totally use it, but for the wrong reason, because I like to surf. I would I used to go to an apartment complex that was nearby and tie off the leash from my surfboard onto the handrail and just paddle. Because that was the only way I could keep my arms kind of ready for surfing. So, well, hey.
Kayaking in there, setting up a bungee and practice my kayaking for adventure racing, but I didn't go so well.
Oh, that's brilliant. Right. Well, I know he's feeling left out in the darkness over there. So let's introduce our next guy. He's also a very fast mountain biker and a pretty respectable graveler as well. And we're going to try and get him into a little bit of cyclocross.
You didn't ask me what I was drinking.
Oh, what is your drink tonight? I'm sorry.
Wine.
Box wine. Very well. Is this a cab or a Merlot? What are we working on? Is it sweet?
Oh no! So Trader Joe's has a sangria. So it's not
Hey.
quite as potent, but it's fruity and it's really good in the summertime cold. So I like it. It's the first
Okay.
time I bought it, but
That works. Yes. Good choice as well. Excellent choice. So without further ado, let's introduce this other guy. Mountain biker, graveler, and we're going to try and talk him into a little bit of cyclocross maybe this year. So please put your hands together and help me welcome Johnny Moto. This is John Russell. How are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. What's your drink this evening? What are you enjoying?
I'm going a little harder core this week, and I'm going to have some tequila right out of the bottle.
nice.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
wow. Straight out of the gate. Just there he is. John is yes. We've been hearing rumors and threats that maybe you could go shirtless at some point. This may be the night. So
Maybe. I got beer over here too, so I'm set for the night. I'm ready to go.
yeah. So Leslie, you mentioned something that made me think. Hey, everybody, happy upcoming Mother's Day to all those ladies that makes the world work. And
Right.
and yeah. Jim Hungerford is typing like crazy over in the.
Yeah, breast liver. No, well,
Nice.
that's why I was excited for tonight, talking Mother's Day week. So I had my blood test today to get my yearly comprehensive blood work. So I've been completely sober for like 3 days to make sure my blood work is like based on normal levels. So after my doctor, I went to Trader Joe's because it's right by there. And I came home and I was like, okay, 1, you should never go to Trader Joe's after you've been fasting. 2, after you haven't had any liquor in 3 days. And I was like, oh, $3 buck chuck, and I was
Yes.
like, chain, wine. Oh, they have spritzers now. Boxed sangria.
Score.
Yeah, so that was my excitement for the day, getting back on the wagon.
Whew. So how's everybody's week been going?
Good.
Huh? Writing?
Crazy.
Anybody other than her fasting?
Can't ride when you're fasting.
No,
I'm
it's
still
hard.
pretty dead from my Sunday ride, so
Yeah.
I haven't been riding much.
You hit 100 miles on Sunday, didn't you?
Pretty close.
What? Serious?
Yeah.
Was this road
Oh,
or
yeah.
gravel or a combo?
Road.
Okay. Let's see. That was your first mistake, really. That's why you don't feel good right now.
Second mistake was trying to hold the wheel of one of my old friends from the high school me and John went to as well. which-
Okay.
Yeah. He's a monster.
He's a monster.
Mm.
So he kept the pace, down at 18.9 for a Wimberley loop. So, nice and slow.
That's rollers out there. Am I remembering correctly?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Okay.
then, Fulton Ranch, that nice climb.
Mm.
Hey, Noel.
I see a shoulder.
What's
Whoop.
up, buddy?
What's up,
We got a
dude?
haircut.
Trying to log in here.
Noel's trying to log in, and he said he went to the Facebook page, but the link goes to last week's.
Well, the link in,
So,
the
if you
details goes last week. I think I need to go to tickets.
if you click on Brett's armadillo, it'll show you a link to both of them. That's how I got into it.
Brett's Armadillo.
Oh.
By Brett K. If you click on his name down at the bottom there, or underneath the screen from last week, then that should bring up both last week's episode and then this one, I think.
Wait. So Jim Hungerford is typing over here. The email does as well. So Jim, are you trying to say that the email link that goes to last week? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. No, not the email one. The Facebook post link
So-
goes to last week's.
So
Oh crap.
under tonight's events, in the details, there's a link to YouTube, and that goes
Yeah.
to last week's stream.
Oh, Jim
Uh.
just said the email does as well. So I guess you have to be like techno wizard to figure
crap.
it out.
Where's the email?
That's why only Jim is here, because he's the only smart one to get in.
Yeah.
You guys.
So I screwed up. Yeah, there's like 5 people watching, and probably one of them is my family in the other room. So. Oh crap.
Tickets? I go to discussion, or how do I get what email are you talking about?
Oh, here. Oh, Jim said the email does the same thing. He sent out
Well-
an email with.
Well, Noel, you would know about the email if you were on my email list because you did events for Capital City
I'm
Racing.
subscribed
That's all
to
I'm
you,
saying.
man. Maybe it went to my phone. Okay, I
Well,
guess.
but Jim said the email goes to the old one too.
So there's Glenn. So Glenn, how did you get here, buddy? How did you find this? Did I type in something correctly somewhere, and that's how you found it, or?
So
Somebody tell us. Well,
under this one, under tickets, it still goes to last week's.
damn.
I just sent a link to our messages with the link.
Okay.
So Glenn clicked the armadillo is what he's saying.
Yep. Click the armadillo.
With the
Yeah, I
heart.
think
The armadillo.
Dillo clicking.
I click the Dillo.
And then it should.
What I got here? Too far?
Huh. Let's see.
I think it's a Capital City Racing website. Or the
Yeah.
homepage. No, I'm here.
Yeah, I didn't put anything on the website.
Okay.
Click a Dillo. Is that? Oh, so anybody who's trying to do it, they went to the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Well, dang it. Well, let's keep talking anyway. There's 7 people here now.
Why don't
That's ruder. Your husband is finally logged in.
No? Oh, did I? No? No, this is what I see right now.
huh.
Well, let's just keep talking.
Yeah.
Screw it. I messed up probably.
well,
So,
can somebody who has the link posted on the Facebook?
Yeah, I'll
An update. We posted the
try.
wrong link.
Oh,
Here it
so
is.
yeah, I invited everybody. Well, Austin, you don't have a Facebook page that I know of, so you probably saw John and Leslie. Y'all are both able to type stuff in on the event page that I made for Facebook. So if you can update that, I think if I scoot away from this, I'll screw up. But all right, so the idea was, I think it'd be kind of fun to have a poll each week. So, interesting. You just threw me off with that question, Leslie. But so I don't know. Some of the stuff that I was throwing out to y'all was. Well, let's just start off with the one that was kind of funny. It got me going because somebody put it on Kurt's thing. I guess Kurt Eagley just bought a mountain bike, and he wanted to know, is it mandatory that you wear baggy shorts if you're going to mountain bike? So I don't know. Before we have anybody else post up their answers, what do you say? Let's start off with Austin first. What's your thoughts? Are you allowed to wear bib shorts if you're going to ride mountain bike?
What are baggies?
Oh,
is
see, that's
pretty
why
much-
you asked me first.
Wow. Did you really? The guy with the most beard that's like belongs in ZZ Top just said
I
that.
can't believe you asked him first.
I might own a
Did you
pair of
get
baggies, but they're probably pretty tight. You know,
Like lycra tight.
lycra tight. I've just always worn a kit.
Wow.
Everything.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a shocker. I've got to say that completely took me off guard because I expected.
You got to stay aero when you're racing the marathon series because there's so many miles that just
You just shaved
the arrow.
4 seconds
Yeah.
off your time. That's right. All right. Well, Leslie, you do a ton of mountain biking. What's your say? Do you do baggies?
Oh, of course I do baggies.
Yeah.
Baggies are for looking like you're cool. Like, that
Is
you're just
it
out there.
that I don't care? I don't give a damn thing.
Yeah, like you're just out there having fun. There's nothing about time, speed. You're just enjoying yourself. You can go to the bar in between your ride and not feel dorky in spandex, and so there's definitely a place for baggies in mountain biking. Now, if I want to go for a QOM, or and I have to get on
Where
and off-
every half second counts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It does. I've lost a QOM by like 3 seconds. So you need to wear the spandex because it's not just about the baggies. It's because when you get on and off the saddle,
Yeah,
your baggies can sometimes get caught.
Yep.
that's why I wear the spandex all the time because I ride a road saddle on the mountain bike, and anytime I've worn the shorts that I bought for when I was told I had to wear shorts to mountain bike, I'd catch them and be stuck.
Well,
Yeah.
That's happened to me in multitude of situations. Yeah. John, okay, so I don't know what you're going to say now.
He's naked all the time when he
Well,
rides. It's,
no. I go both ways. I wear baggies.
easy, baby.
Yeah, that's right. I
go
like
both ways,
Leslie
nice.
touched on it. Baggies are awesome when you go and ride. You know you're going to end up at a bar or a pub or something, have a beer in public. But I'm truly most comfortable in a kit. I'm definitely most comfortable wearing a kit, but I wear baggies probably 80% of the time. But mountain bikers love everybody, so there is no rule. You wear whatever you want to wear.
Oh, they're just as opinionated as everybody else.
I don't know.
So do you get sideways glances from people when you're wearing the kit
No.
instead of the baggies?
Yeah, because when you wear the kit, you look like all serious, like I'm going to kick
Yeah.
your ass. And when you're a female out there and you're looking like, okay, everybody pulls over for you though. You know, you're like, okay, I'm badass and I'm, out on this trail, and most people who are just chill are like, oh, okay, trail, I'll let you by. I'm like, cool, thanks.
So I was out riding Walnut last week. In fact, it was the day that Laura called me up and said, you need to get your butt outside, right? So I went and rode Walnut, and they created that stair-step drop down into the creek. I think a lot of people know that. I've ridden Walnut before.
I built
Yeah.
that.
And I've never ridden that once. And so there I am in my BSS kit, and I'm standing at the top of that, and this guy comes through, and he's like 245, 255 pounds, whatever, and he's got baggies on, and it may have been a T-shirt too, and he just went, and he rode right down the bottom of it, and I know he saw me standing there, and I was like, shut up, I'm a cyclocrosser. Okay, just bite me.
Yeah, you're like, what I know is faster is I get off and I tow my bike across all the hard stuff, and then I get back on.
So this was a funny comment. Let's see, where did dadgummit, Jim? You said something really funny.
Yeah.
There we go. Boom. That cracked me up. Well done, sir.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, so Annette made it. Hello, Annette.
Hey, Annette.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so Annette, I'm wondering if Annette is a mountain biker or is she a gravel gal? Because we know that she hits the cross hard. You should definitely type in and let us know what's up with that. Yeah, we saw you, Annette.
This event have been turned off, I guess, so I can't post
Look at the size of that beer, man. That's crazy.
I was excited. Pint House opened,
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So how'd you get on?
So this past week, I hit up some gravel up near Shiner, just taking a look, and that's in the neighborhood of Gonzales as well, which this year was supposed to be a new nighttime gravel event coming out, but that was pretty good. I have to say, I rode with Glenn. It was it was supposed to be 63 miles, but he forgot his phone, so we had to go back for an extra 3 miles. It nearly killed me. Of course, most rides with Glenn nearly kill me, but the heat and the distance, it was a booga bear.
Yep.
Really rough
Sorry I
go of
missed
it.
that.
Hey, well, sometime soon, according to Governor Abbott, we are allowed to be 4 people in outdoor sports.
That's right. One, two.
We should do this next week, riding.
Leslie has got to ride gravel soon. This is one of the things you're missing out. I
You're gonna have to
really,
put a
really
noose
think you're
on my
missing
neck
out.
and drag me.
No,
make it
How much-
really
yeah.
terrible, and we could all do Zwift.
I think that you would really enjoy it, Leslie.
Maybe we
I don't know.
should do. Maybe we should do one of these happy hours while we're riding our bikes on Zwift.
That would be cool, right?
Yeah. Why not?
So,
And
like,
drinking.
is Google Glass still around? Like, can you see something and not crash, so you could see something that was happening on the pod, whatever this is, video cast, and hear that would be wicked cool. But I don't guess Google Glass is around anymore.
Well, what is Google Glass? Is that something
Oh,
from
wow.
the 80s or
It
70s?
was those glasses that you wore that were like interactive with your phone or
Oh,
something.
And so it had a little heads-up display
Yeah.
and a camera, right? I think there was a camera
Yeah.
in there, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. So
hey, Wallace votes for Swift.
I'm
know.
totally down.
I agree. We should all ride together.
I haven't tried Zwift yet, and it's the cheapskate in me. I just can't do
No,
whatever it is, the 10 or
Brad,
12 bucks a
told you
month.
You can come borrow my Swift.
Well, but then you got to hook it up to something.
Well, yeah, you could just have to get a subscription, but I don't think it's like a yearly. You could just do month by month, I think. No?
They give you 2
Actually-
weeks free. So.
So I could do it for
Great.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still thinking about getting my rollers out, but just taping little lumps onto them so that I can feel like I'm riding gravel, even when I'm inside. Then that kind of thing. I don't know.
Well, if you want it that bad, I could get my car and hook you up and drag you down some gravel road.
Just
Or
might
you
do
can
that.
come on my ride with me. I'll take you on a nice, really rocky mountain bike trail.
Let's do that.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. And getting ready for Uber Draw Steel when it happens is taking my cross bike out on the mountain bike trail.
Ooh,
That's
Nice.
bad.
wow. And then I'm guessing with a good sized tire, right?
38, but smooth.
Okay.
I take my stuff on the wrong things all the time.
I saw you in the creek last week.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That
I
was-
take the wrong bike to everything.
that was a really good picture of you just kind of looking like it must have been a fresh roll because it looked like you
Oh,
were
yeah.
still
It
trying to
was-
recover.
It was 8 feet down into the water and just boom.
Oh, man.
Mike is still up there, and I'm like, you better take a picture, Adam. And he's just laughing and laughing and laughing. And I'm like, no, quick, take a picture.
Yeah, Leslie, I think it's better when we're all here. I don't think anybody wants to see me big like that. No.
Just bring your camera forward. No, for camera.
Can
Yeah, you're kind of small in the frame.
You're really small.
I? So again, because I'm such a cheapskate, I'm using Veronica's. There's not a surprise there, but I'm using a webcam that Veronica does for her school testing, online testing. They have to be proctored the whole time, and this is a super wide view camera that can see like the whole room to make sure she's not cheating or whatever. So if we keep doing this, I'll actually invest in a webcam.
Well, can't you just bring it closer? Because I'm either gonna have to go get glasses or try and figure out who I'm really talking to.
I don't think anybody wants me closer, honestly.
Yeah, small. Jim wants small, Brett. I want just move your face closer like this.
Come on in. Bring it in, buddy.
But then you can't see my sponsor stuff, so that's really
No, I
important, right?
can. Keep coming in. I'll tell you when to stop.
No, I'm not sure anybody wants to see me closer.
And Brett thinks you're really square too. So Glenn thinks you're square.
Yeah, well, he would know.
Brett, bad job.
I like that. So anyway, I'm not seeing a whole lot of people typing in about baggies, and I'm curious to see, like, especially mountain bikers. We also haven't heard back from Annette. Wait, Annette, did you tell us do you mountain bike? I'm super curious.
Only.
Oh, good call. Although mountain biking is kind of fun, and we know you love cyclocross. She totally made that was both the Cross of Ages and the Houston race, which was absolutely hysterical. Did anybody catch that interview that she did on a podcast where she was interviewed for, I don't know, a good 5 minutes, and on the side of the course of the Cross Houston course? It was something to listen to. She's a really good personality. So, all right. Well, I didn't want to get sidetracked on that too much. Cross is cross. And news. I know that some people had been kind of asking questions, what's going on with the season. So I had a conversation with the director of NABRA today, and I'm going to talk with him mid-month and kind of see. I have an idea, which I'm not going to put out there into the YouTubes yet, but so far it looks like it would be approved as a pretty unique, safe event for gravel. And potentially we're looking at, what is it? I think the next update from Governor Abbott is supposed to be in June or something like that. Or I'm sorry, mid-May. So we'll know something maybe for a June or July. Cyclocross, I'm not able to reserve my parks yet because Travis County Parks is shut down. The whole office completely shut.
Wow.
So hopefully I'll be able to contact them. I've got a call in with also the East Side Travis County Parks director to see, like, can I at least tentatively get something like that for the 6-shooter and cross stages. But in the meantime, I mean, I think we're all going to have to be really creative if we're going to ride gravel in some sort of a group. Gravel TT. See, that's the thing. I'd love to hear from people, and y'all can definitely type in if you want to. That's a good question, Jim. I have mixed feelings about a gravel TT because, I mean, you can go and ride gravel by yourself anytime, right? I mean, it's like a solo ride. Good for you. You just went and rode out some ride, maybe with 1 or 2 other friends. Great. But everything I do is social. It's all about the fun. It's about the, hey, I've got a drink, and we've got drinks waiting for you, or here's a hand up, or silliness and camaraderie and all that kind of stuff. And so I don't do serious events very well. And so I have mixed feelings about that. But if people are really interested and they just really want to be involved.
A costume gravel TT.
Over obstacles, through the woods.
Oh, yeah. So Leslie, you're talking about, what did they call those? Is that a grinduro? No, wait. It's a monster gravel? Or Austin, you may know. Help us out here.
Step it up a page.
I know what you're talking about, grinduro, but
well, so I've heard about some gravel events where they actually like send you off through the woods for short sections and then come back. So I did see real quick. So Wallace said, if we did do CX, would it be unsanctioned like last season? I would like you to know that we were sanctioned last season. We were with NABRA, North American Bicycle Racing Association. We will most definitely continue that. I think that they're the best partner for everything that I want to do. Most people are not interested in taking out a license to race. And so that helps us bring in new people. That helps me, or I'm sorry, it allows me to help you bring in your neighbors to try out gravel or to try out cyclocross when there's no discussion about a license and where does that 75 or 90 or whatever dollars, where does that go? So NABRA has been fantastic for us to work with, and we brought in quite a few new riders with the ain't racing category where they weren't even scored, and they were totally cool with that in cyclocross. So that's just, I know that a lot of people have questions about the gravel and cyclocross stuff. So y'all keep talking and make fun of me while I'm actually trying to talk serious talk for a second. And I'm sorry. Yeah, so I do like the idea for gravel about like time sectors and stuff, but still, isn't that kind of a solo ride? I mean, Austin, John, you've both done a lot of gravel, so is it interesting if you just drive out, just you and a spouse, and just do a solo ride, knowing that it's kind of being tracked, or is that good?
I don't think it's.
I like riding personally. I mean, I like riding bikes, but I'm not sure. I don't know. Final answer. I don't know. I'm kind of like the TT format doesn't quite feel like gravel to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the gravel race seems to be very inclusive. You got a bunch of people, and you of course have the front runners, the guys that are going to just stomp and put down crazy times, which the TT is suited to.
Right.
And trying to think. Single speed, I end up by myself most of the time anyway.
Well, there's that.
So I was like, wait, is that what I'm doing anyways?
Well, but I think even in gravel, when you're not riding with a group, you still see some people up in front of you.
Yeah.
And you see some people behind you. Obviously there was somebody made a stab at it, a local Whoa. Somebody made a local, you got that? A local promoter put on a gravel TT thing. And to me, I mean, obviously when a race is going on, if certain people show up for a gravel race or any race for that matter, you kind of know who's going to win. And that's cool. But in gravel, what I like to do is more that experience, right? And so me and Austin, we're probably not at the pointy end of what's going on, but we might be riding together for a whole lot, and that's the part that I dig. Or, well, John's going to be way out in front of me, so yeah. But it just the social aspect is kind of what I dig about gravel, and somebody to ride with, and you chase them down, and then you lose them on the hills, and
See, something that was, well, of course, it's a group ride thing. I like this timed sectors within a full course.
I agree.
Where I guess you have your segments. Like, okay, we're going to ride over here, and then we're going to hit Sand Hill Road. Who's the fastest?
Oh yeah,
the fastest through Sand Hill, and then ease up through there.
And I'm totally with you on that. Yeah, and I think that is a grinduro, which is kind of stealing from that whole mountain bike thing where they have time segments.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm totally about that. But if the event, if I could put on something in 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now, and it was only a TT because we can't have more than 4 people in the same spot at one time, I mean, is that rewarding? You went and rode as hard as you could for, that 12-mile segment or whatever it was, and then you go back to your car and you just have beers in your trunk, and you're like, woo! You're partying out by yourself. So I saw the results on the little TT thing that was here close to Austin, Texas, not Austin Walker's house, but and the usual people win, and that's kind of what you expect. But everybody else just went out like kind of solo, right? So they just did a solo training ride, I suppose.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to. I don't think the people that are doing the gravel for the social aspect are going to be into the TT as much.
Exactly.
Because it's fun to ride with other people that are hurting as much as you.
Yeah.
You're all just as miserable. You all hate what's going on just as much, and it's kind of it's much harder for me to push myself when I'm alone, as to when, like you said, you can see somebody up the road, or you can hear the gravel tires behind you, or it's just this. I guess it's just a different way to push yourself, and if you're able to do that, it's probably an ideal thing. Whereas if I'm alone, I'm not wanting to suffer much, unless I'm in the middle of a race, and then it sucks anyways.
Yeah, when you're riding with other people, you can have a good laugh, but if you're riding solo and you start laughing, there may be something wrong with you. You might should be worried. I don't know.
Man, I'm weird because I love riding solo. That's my time to be alone and kind of clear my head and reset the clock. So I really enjoy riding and doing races solo. But I love the aspect of getting together and the social aspect, like Austin said. And I think gravel's all about that, and that's what I've really loved about gravel. But in a 24-hour solo race, you're by yourself, and that's it. And I love being by myself when I'm riding my bike. At the same time, I love being with people, but it doesn't bother me to be by myself. I love it.
Well, but is an event in your mind, does that even scratch that fun itch or anything like that, or would you just be out on just a solo ride and just say, oh, I'll save the money or whatever, or just ride the road that I want to ride on?
I don't know. I mean, I think being solo is. I think the time trial format and everything will alienate. It'll cater more towards the more serious folk. and the people that are out there to have a good time and ride and be social, I don't think that's going to work and be something they're interested in.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's kind of one of the things I've been getting questions on email, and people are like, well, hey, can you do this, or what's going to go on with that? And realistically, we'll set a date when we have a pretty good feel from the state of Texas. And NABRA says basically whatever your state regulations are, that's what we're going to let you do. And we're talking cyclocross right now. October's a long ways away, but you can certainly pencil in the 6-shooter for the first weekend of October, and pencil in the Cross of Ages for the weekend before Halloween, not Halloween weekend itself. But anyway, so if at all possible, we're going to try and do that. And who knows what it'll look like? I don't know. Will we be racing with masks, and the start grid will be everybody's like 6 feet away? I can't hear you, Leslie. Are you there?
You're on mute, Leslie.
Sorry. I'm trying to avoid dog.
I see hands moving around. Oh, I see.
Yeah, that was the dog barking I'm trying to avoid, since I have to be in the doghouse right now. But
look at that doghouse.
Hey,
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, you see that one?
Yeah, that's
There's
terrible.
Another one coming. So my daughter has a dog, so she brought her home. So they're like totally like trying to like decide who's dominant and who's like, they're getting a feel for each other. So, anyway, so it's kind of fun racing in a costume.
Yeah.
See any problem? I wore a witch mask for a whole cyclocross race. Hey, that could be possible. If that's what it takes to get a cyclocross race on, I'm in.
Yeah, Jim Hungerford's talking about distant hand ups, and I'm wondering, so will that be like 6-foot sticks with a beer at the end of it? Or the thing that I've been wondering about is if we do this, will we have to wear PPE or PPE? Do we have to wear that? And will you crash trying to get your beer hand up into your mouth on a cyclocross course, with your PPE all wrapped around your head and stuff? If you got your face shield or your mask or your, I don't know, rubber gloves?
You said PPE.
Pete, you said pee-pee.
What I think is pretty fun is, think pre-COVID. Like, we're doing beer hand-ups, and then to one person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Beer hand up to the next person. It's like, all right. Cyclocross shared red solo cups might be out of the picture for a while. So
we have
to come up with a new brilliant way to do hand ups without recycling all the plastic cups and that we're doing for hand ups.
We have to write your name on the cup, and it's like grade school. You're responsible for that cup for the rest of the day.
Exactly. That is your hand up cup. If you want it filled, you put it back down right here.
I think a super soaker, and you just spray them from like 6 feet away.
Well done, sir. Yes, I like that.
You could put some beer in a super soaker, and they have to open their mouth if they really want it. And
you have just been adopted into the planning team. I like this.
I like that too. I like the super soaker idea.
Personal protection super soaker.
Hey, Leslie, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
When you're training hardcore for a race, how do you ride with other people? I mean, like, you're really fast and they, the folks you ride with and everything. Who do you ride with, or do you do most of that training when you're really going out to set those QOMs and the things that you do? Are you by yourself a lot, or do you ride in with other folks when you're doing that stuff?
Half and half. So you have to say pre and both. So half the time I'm by myself, and that's where I was telling you, like, I'll pick a section, like a QM section to go train for. Back in the long time days, I wear the heart rate monitor, I did the intervals, I did all that crap, and that just isn't fun for me anymore. So I'll pick a section of trail that I always ride, and if I'm not the fastest person in that section, I'll pick it for the day, and I'll go challenge myself to try and beat that section.
Nice.
So, and if I really want to beat it, then I bring my Sherpa Noel.
I knew you were going to say that.
And he, it's not so much, it is leading, but I'm very paranoid about going head on into somebody. And when you're like sprinting, trying to get your QOM or whatever it is, you don't want to think about going straight on into somebody. And when Noel's in front of me, I can see him up far ahead, but he's also like clear in the way, like, he's up there going, oh, right or back. And then they're usually pulled over where I can keep going. So like at City Park, when I did my QOM the other day, he was right in front of me, and, he was pacing it, knowing, making sure all was clear, that I could get up stuff. And so, it's 50-50 for me, but I think to be a good rider too, you have to have your group social rides, because you have to learn to take easy days too, and focus on why you're doing this. That what makes you happy about it is doing it with friends and having fun and wearing your baggies and not worrying about QOMs. But when I'm thinking about going fast, it's either time or Noel in front of me chasing somebody.
Yep. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can you see how Leslie's slumming in the background? I'm just as she's talking.
Terrible.
This is really rough.
Terrible background.
Annette was commenting that the doghouse looks like some terrible digs back there. Yeah, that's just really rough.
Well,
I exercise the dogs. I throw them in the pool and make them chase the pool brush and tell yours about it.
Oh, see, now Austin just busted out with the dog.
Yeah.
Not to be outdone.
He's been begging.
So I have a question for Austin.
Yeah.
I've ridden with you a lot, and I want to know, because I've seen us hit some ridiculous speeds on your single speed. I want to know what your highest recorded cadence number is.
Oh.
I don't. Because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It was probably that when we did that pre-ride at when I'm trying to hold your wheel and
Ryan
Coover.
Yeah,
Trying to hold y'all at 30. I think I hit 220.
No. That can't even be real.
I was laughing the whole time.
Where was this?
It was Stockdale. We pre-rode it that day. The last year when we pre-rode Stockdale.
Okay.
And found the TV frame.
Yeah.
So what was it? The last 5 miles, last 6 miles that that I said something stupid like, I'd like to pick it up for the last bit to go into the end.
Fault.
And then you and Ryan were just like, whoa.
Yeah, the reason I don't know anything about this, even though I was on that ride, I was 6 miles behind y'all, so I couldn't see any of that. You dropped me so bad. So, wasn't there.
That
wasn't there.
So what you got? What you opening?
I have to say thank you to Annette for the QOM shout out, and Jim, it's a wide angle lens. This is really, it's like a pond back here.
and what you said, Leslie, I ride behind Noel every time I ride with him too. So I get it.
The jumps, and then you're right in front of everybody.
I don't know.
Thank you, Laura Neighbors, for this, by the way.
I love watching you go over the jumps. Like, I'm fully trying to build up on my jumping skills. It's when you watch somebody else in their body position, it helps so much as, do I need to be forward here, backward there? So, like, all that video and pictures I took of you that day, I was like, oh, that's how you do it. Because that's why I'm saying social rides are good. Not that riding with you is just social, because that's what I'm saying. You learn something from other people. And when I ride with Noel, he's like, just goes over shit like, he's riding a Mack truck. And, I'm a little more ginger and I don't get flat tires like he does. But when you ride with other people that take different lines or, have different body positions, you can learn so much from watching other people's riding styles.
If you can hang with them.
Well, even my son, I rode with my son the other day, who rides like 12 times a year, and I kill him on like some technical sections, and then we get to the open part and he's gone. I'm like,
wow,
what the hell? Because he's like 140 pounds and, with his tiny, it's different. Every time I ride with somebody who you don't normally ride with, I think you can learn something.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm supposed to go ride with somebody Sunday, trails behind where the Peddler up in Cedar Park
the best.
is.
That's where we were at.
I can escort you there.
All right, so here's the thing. I've broken both collarbones. I've shattered this wrist, and so injury is always on the top of my list of, like, let's don't do that today. So should I be worried?
No, Peddlers, is it Peddlers or?
It's called Suburban Ninja.
Yeah, Suburban Ninja's easy.
Yeah, it's easy.
Oh, it is? Okay.
And all the jumps are easily rolled around. There's all kinds of ways to do it. You do not have to do it.
Okay, so because I was talking with the person I was supposed to go with, and I said, okay, I ride Walnut almost exclusively, and it's funny, Leslie, when you mentioned what was it, the motorcycle trip? Dadgummit, you just said it, City Park. I think you mentioned that, right?
Yeah, I did.
So I used to ride City Park on my 94 Rockhopper. It was the comp, by the way, because it had the upgraded parts on it, Shimano LX, but we used to go ride that, and it had a Manitou 3-fork. The bike was not designed for suspension, so it really slowed down the steering. And I'm pretty sure I almost broke collarbones numerous times out there. And that was back in 95, 96.
It's much better. They built like ramps practically to go up some of the ups because they reversed
the downs.
So they reversed the direction of City Park. So I have had my same face first knock the wind out of me. I'll never go back to City Park fall again. And I love going back to City Park one day, and Jenny Bird and I went out there and we just played around. We did a practice loop the first time, and then second time I was like, all right, let's see what we can do on this. And we didn't stop, and we just kept going. I loved it so much. I asked Nola, I'm like, let's go out there tomorrow. That was so much fun. And I know I can get that QOM because I was just learning it again. And I hated City Park 10 years ago. I mean, it was a And when you have good bikes now, with instant drop and front forks that drop, have 130 millimeters.
Hey, that Rockhopper, that was a good bike. That was steel is real, baby.
Yeah. That's Suburban Ninja, but you don't have to do that.
Yeah, there's some of the jumps we're hitting out there. Like, I think, let me see. They got some drops like this, and you don't have to do them, but they're out there.
Yeah, they're building a lot of stuff. It's super fun.
Cool. It's super fun.
Okay. Yeah, because drops is really the thing that kind of spooks me, and I think it spooks a lot of people, especially like when I was doing mountain bike races, and you see the 3 arrows going down. That really gets my attention. Like, whoa, oh, wow, that's not a 1 arrow.
But next time you want to go to Suburban Ninja, I will be your escort because I love that place. I ride it all the time.
All right.
I'd love to come too.
Yeah, Noel and I have been trying to support Red Horn, so we stop and have a beer or lunch in between a ride and sit in the grass and eat it and watch the BMX people ride while we're eating. And
so you can see Austin right now. He's all like, I don't know, that sounds north or something.
Yeah.
Is that in Dallas? No, I haven't ridden. I think I rode Brushy last when Matt Barkley lived here, so
yeah, we rode
like 3 years. I think I rode with you. Yeah, I need to go back out there.
You do.
Please,
it's there's a ton of stuff. It's so much fun, and we can meet at my house.
I don't have suspension.
Can you roll there? You can roll out from your driveway, like out to the trail.
It's a 12-minute ride to Brushy from my house, and then we
ride. Warm up.
Then we ride Ninja. Then we come back through Brushy, and then we come back to my house, and then we jump in the pool.
In the dog house.
In the dog
house. Yeah.
All right. This is a lot of mountain bike talk. Man, see, this show is not supposed to be all about mountain biking. We turned right someplace. I don't know.
It's my fault. I'm sorry.
So has anybody touched their gravel bike recently?
I have.
Yeah.
Every morning.
My gravel bike's a mountain bike, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has anybody seen gravel recently?
I was
No?
supposed to go. I was
No.
supposed to go this weekend and ride your McDade loop.
Oh, really? You were going to
Yeah.
head out to McDade?
I was thinking about doing it with a buddy of mine, but I'm not sure it's going to happen. We may end up at Brushy Creek again. But, we'll see what happens.
That's not a bad thing.
Oh.
No.
Well, I've been scoping out a little bit of stuff for gravel online, so we'll see. I don't know what'll happen, if any of it's any good or not. And then the Cannondale rep was also telling me that there's some stuff out north of Lampasas, and I had seen it on satellite, but he said it's kind of fun. So, yeah, you can see Austin's eyes are rolling to the back of his head again. He's like, "Oh my God, that's north again."
Where that? No,
Lampasas? Maybe you've heard of it. Lampasas. It's the other side of Austin from
I
South
have no
Austin.
idea where that is.
We'll travel for gravel.
Yeah.
My A race just got canceled today. So
What is this?
my year coast to coast up in Michigan.
Oh, that got canceled?
They moved it to August 3rd, and so
That's not doable for you, or what?
no, probably not.
Okay.
So
Damn it.
I'm like, now I need to find some more close to home, I guess.
I almost wore my Mid-South shirt today.
That was fun. What were your thoughts on Mid-South, Brett?
Well, you hear the stories, and you know I messaged you, as a matter of fact, too.
Yeah.
So I already knew, if it rains, probably don't try the 100. My bike wouldn't have made it, honestly. And I didn't even know that it wouldn't have made it. I had the centered metal pads, and so that was good. We learned that from cyclocross. I'm sure, Leslie, you know that, right? And probably a lot of folks who ride in the nasty stuff, the disc brakes got to have the centered.
I fell asleep. What was that, Leslie?
What? The centered metal pads, we know that from cyclocross, and probably mountain bikers do. So my brake pads were in great shape. Shifting went out the door, and so that was unexpected. And then I don't know on Facebook how many people saw, but like my pulleys, they were gone. They looked like ninja throwing stars
They
or
were
something.
pointy.
You know how you take care of that?
Single speed? What? Yeah, I was waiting for that one. But yeah, from talking with Austin and a couple other people, I knew not to even try the 100-miler if it's muddy. Just, the bike wouldn't do it. And God bless the people. There wasn't very many, but God bless the people who finished the 100-miler in those conditions, because it was disgusting.
I got to the halfway point and was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And that has not happened to where I'm like, the bike can make it and I can make it, but I don't want to. I want to go home, or I want to go to my Airbnb. I want to take a shower, and I want to go to the finish line, and I want to drink beer.
Yeah, so Glenn was asking if I did the 100. No, I was signed up for the 100, and after talking with Austin and a bunch of other people beforehand, I knew that the 50 was the way to go because it avoided some of the nastiest peanut butter mud. And I mean, some of the bikes that came back, and they didn't even make it to the finish line. It was bad. Austin, I saw your social media. I think probably was Adam with you the whole time, or more or less with you the whole time?
Adam,
or did y'all get separated?
We got separated, and he ran out of brakes really early.
Oh, okay.
like most people did. It was a no brakes thing, and a lot of those downhills were kind of funny because you'd start down this hill and you're like trying to squeeze what you can, and you just see these tracks going into the trees.
There was a really lot of unhappy looking people when the 50-miler would cross over and join in with the 100 and then split back off. There were a lot of people that didn't look happy. Me and Ed Adame were riding together, and there was not a single second that we felt like we had made the wrong choice by switching over to the 50. But I was just doing it as homework. Basically, I wanted to see how somebody did a big event, because it was supposed to have 2,600 people, if I'm not mistaken. And I'd never been to an event that size except for, like Hotter Than Hell and stuff, which actually they're bigger. But so I learned quite a bit. It was a good experience for me. I missed something. What is it? Who said something?
They're talking about Pam, and I can't focus.
Oh.
Sorry.
But it was good research for me, and I was just happy to get to the finish line. So yeah, that was good. But I think I've blown $100 getting that bike back to working condition, chain toast.
It's a minimum 100. It's $100 to $200, $200 probably to $300 to get your bike going after a mud race.
It was nasty. Yeah. There were some cool things, I have to say. If we could get that kind of thing going on in Texas, like there was a really soupy, steep hill that people were dying to get up, and there was a bunch of college students from the college there in town, and this one dude was wearing like a banana hammock, and I don't know if it was white or spiky. Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah, he's from Dallas.
Well, kudos to him for driving there. Because I was already walking halfway up the hill, but I had my GoPro going because I could hear some cheering. I was like, all right, there's something up there. I can't see what it is. And so I started filming him, and it was so worth it. I was like, it was probably, Austin, it was probably 40 degrees or so? I don't know.
It's probably 40. It's an 18 to 19% hill for 1/3 of a mile.
But that dude was wearing nothing but a pair of boots and a banana hammock, and that was it.
I want to see that.
It was. I have to say, after riding something, I've never wanted to see Manskin before, but it was really entertaining. I have to say, at mile whatever that was for us, like 35 or 40 or something. But yeah, it's an impressive event, I have to say. So kudos to them, and I don't have any regrets for switching over to the 50. Hey, I got a Bobby. I think I did hug Bobby, actually. Yeah, I did. I was supposed to elbow bump him, but I hugged him. So it was
That's exactly why I don't like gravel. As much adventure racing as I've done, we've been on mountain biking gravel roads that get muddy, soupy, gross, and you can't even roll your tires to the point you're having to carry your bike. And I'm like, no, I have no interest having to walk my bike down a road because it's so muddy and gross. And I'm in a field, and that's. But
I will say that
scares me off.
That is a wet gravel race in Texas is so rare. I mean, in mountain biking, you have to watch out certain weekends, right? Because the trees are covering the trails, and you can't ride because a lot of it hasn't dried up yet. But I mean, I've done one event. It wasn't an event at all. It was actually a recon of New Ulm. Glenn Twiggs was there, Dave Callahan was there, and I can't remember, somebody else was there. We all trashed our bikes, but that's the only time I've ever trashed a bike in Texas, just because it's always dry, right? And these roads are built for cars. I think Austin would probably back me up on this.
I did it at the most memorable race for me was at Caprock Canyon State Park, and we had to go off down the gravel roads, and it had rained, and it was so bad that we are mucking up our tires. We had to push our bikes. And it was nasty. So,
but that's mountain biking, right?
Well, yeah, but still, it's a gravel road. Mountain biking gravel road. I'm gonna look up that
there
picture.
There are no roads in Texas like Oklahoma, because you'd be rolling along and it's wet and it's acting like a gravel road in Texas, and then all of a sudden, whoop, your bike stops, and I'd go to try to pick my bike up, and it's like, I can't even pick it up. I have to waddle over and lean it against the fence and scrape all this shit off.
Yeah.
Just so I can walk it down the road for another half mile.
It was a different level. I've never seen clay,
it was
peanut butter clay before.
Yeah. I've destroyed a mountain bike at Fat Chuck. Destroyed everything.
Right.
Everything.
That's why I don't pre-register. That's what's so frustrating.
If it rains there, I don't.
You don't even want to pre-register, because I am not going to go to Fat Chuck's or Rocky Hill and pre-register for a race, because you're going to trash your bike and it's not going to be worth it.
Yep.
Yeah, and somebody even asked about a wet Castell, and honestly,
that wasn't that bad.
I don't think it's bad. Last year we got a nice little rainstorm. the sand was more rideable. Well, I say that because I was on a tandem, but those roads again, it's not a mud. It's a gravel. It's like that sandy gravel. I don't know. I don't think it's Leslie. We got to get you out at least once. You got to keep an open mind.
Yeah. Come on, Leslie. Let's go.
It's like a threesome. Come on, keep an open mind.
You're on mute, Leslie.
Oh, she's got. So hang on, I'm working over my Merlot.
I'm opening my mind.
Nice. Hey, you want to hear? You guys were talking about Fat Chuck.
Yeah.
I got engaged on the top of Fat Chuck.
Oh, your story is freaking awesome. I love that. I love the whole day. You had an awesome day, and
yeah, that was a cool day. But it was the day before the 24-hour of Rocky Hill race started. It was a muddy race, and Laura pre-rided it. Laura and I were pre-riding
because I went to school.
Because I'm smart. And anyway, if you know Laura, she doesn't like to stop when she's riding, and I wasn't sure how to get her to stop. And then we were riding up Fat Chuck's, and I got a flat, like going up Fat Chuck's, and right then at the top is where I proposed to her. So, and then the next day we started the race, which was a fun race in itself for 24 hours. So it was a good day.
Yeah.
So I popped up a question from Roman. He remembers that race that Rolando put on at a ski ranch. I think this was before anybody else's time, but Leslie might remember that. Daniel Curtin managed to win. I don't remember what race it was. It was maybe like the Cat 3 race in mud boots. He wasn't wearing cycling shoes at all, and what they had done is it rained like cats and dogs, and they mowed the field the week before. Well, you just can't do that. You have to be mowing a field all the time throughout a year so that the grass is thick and short, but they only had weeds, and so all we did was make mud and then straw sticks from like the tall weeds just got mixed into it. Yeah. And I thought I was going to be brilliant because I was still an inexperienced mountain biker. And I said, I'm just going to take my mountain bike, right? Because it'll float right over the top of the mud. It didn't float over the mud. It just picked up a whole lot more mud. That was a Specialized Epic. That bike weighed 55, 60 pounds, I think. And that was after 2 laps. So it's, I think we've all been there. You just trashing a bike, and then you get a stick or whatever you can, right? Just try and get some mud off the tires so that they'll actually go through the frame.
Yeah.
Pam, that's where you use Pam.
No, well, Pam is hit or miss. It depends on the mud.
I hear this all the time. Does it work ever?
It depends on the mud, and I've sprayed you spray rubber tires, a whole bike. So if you're doing a muddy race, I've had luck where nothing sticks, and other times it looks like you didn't do anything.
So if it's peanut butter, is there luck with that? No. So if it's soupy, then yes.
Yeah, probably.
I think soupy's better, like a wet soupy type mud.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So remember that, Texas Crossers.
Yeah, definitely. And I think most people don't know about Pam spray because people don't want to share their secrets, but I've
heard it for years. I've heard it, but I just always thought, well, that sounds like the dumbest thing ever. It just sounds like a great way to have to clean your bike more.
No, you have to use the grill version too.
Yeah.
Well, is thicker?
I don't know. Sticks to metal better.
John. Austin, have you tried this? No? Yes?
I brought some Pam to Mid-South, but did not use it.
Oh, see, actually, I think Terlingua, isn't that part of their selling point? Mud doesn't stick to a Terlingua.
Right.
Yeah.
And nothing would have helped you there, though.
Pam, no, it was... that race was so fun because as we're riding the start, we're riding along, and as soon as we hit dirt, derailleurs start snapping. And it's just like, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be good. But no, I the pictures of how much mud was stuck all over that bike was insane.
Yeah.
So would you have switched over to the 50, Austin?
I should have.
Do you care about getting to the finish line of an event? Like, is that important?
I didn't think so. But what was hardest for me, I got to the halfway point. My brother and Becky, my wife, were there, and I should have just told them not to let me in the car. Just lock the doors. Don't let me get in.
John.
And it was tough. It's always tough not finishing, and it's just kind of a mental thing that you have to be like okay with, that you've made this decision. Yeah. But then going to the finish line after we got back, I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I really should have not been allowed back in the car.
So I couldn't
which they now have instructions not to ever let me back in the car at a race.
So that morning I couldn't sleep, and I was all wondering about what choice I should make. Should I shoot for the 100 or should I go for the 50? And so I went to I went backwards on the 100-mile course just to see what it was going to be like in my truck. My truck started to slide off the road. That's how bad it was, and that made my decision up. So I saw a whole bunch of Jeeps when I got back into town, and I knew that there was like Jeeps that were supposed to bring people back in, the stranded people, because of the four-wheel drive Jeeps on some of these roads. To put it in perspective, they're the only ones that can get you back.
Wow.
And
that's so I think it's the Red Rock Jeep Club, and they are awesome because they volunteer to do all that. And so there's so many Jeeps, and every year that was the one thing that it's like always helpful, because you're like towards the end you're getting tired and the Jeeps come by the other way and you see other racers in there with them, but they're always cheering you on, which is
nice.
Kind of like this so totally cool thing that this Jeep club of, I don't know how many were there, maybe 60, 70 of these high dollar Jeeps.
Right.
Like, and they just go do that.
I saw that morning at about 5:30 in the morning, I saw about 10 to 15 of them roll into a gas station. I guess they were gassing up to get ready for the event, right? So I was coming back to go let my roommate Ed know. It's like, yeah, dude, we still got to do the 50. And so I just thought, I'm going to pull in. I said, hey, are you guys volunteering to bring people in? They go, yeah, we're getting ready. I said, I just came off the backside of the course. Said, you need to call all of your friends right now. All of your Jeep friends, you need to call them and get them out here, because y'all are going to be so busy today. And sure enough, I heard that however many Jeeps that they had, like 60 or something, that they were running ragged all day long. The attrition rate, Austin, you probably could clarify, but I think it was 62% attrition rate on the 100 or something.
I didn't see the whole thing, but it was
crazy.
High.
So that's not the kind of event that I'm looking to try and put on. And I don't have any Jeep friends, by the way. So
telling me on gravel yet.
Yeah, but it's Oklahoma, though. I mean, people talk about that red mud clay up there. We don't have anything like that. Not that I've seen. I mean, maybe in far east Texas, or I'm supposed to go up and do the event. Our friends do. Dadgummit, it's way up by like Abilene or something. Can't remember the name right now, but maybe they've got clay up there. I don't know, but I've never done gravel where it was clay. I've done sand, I've done gravel, I've done
That's rock. I sent you a picture. It's close to Oklahoma, and it sucks.
Yeah, I believe it. I totally do.
Yeah. Well, you're only on episode 2, so you have time to convince me.
Yeah.
All summer of episodes to convince me. I'll be out in Colorado probably next week, so you can try and convince me from there to ride gravel.
All right, Texas, you heard it here first. Leslie is thinking about gravel. Maybe we'll have to get her out there.
I think I did my first gravel race on a mountain bike. So
why not, right?
Yeah.
I did my first cyclocross race on a mountain bike, which is totally acceptable, and it was a ton of fun, and that's what got me hooked on cyclocross. So I do have a cyclocross bike now, so I heard I could probably use that.
Oh, yeah.
It's perfect.
Easy.
Absolutely perfect. Yeah, and I would say mountain bikes are good too, because I destroyed myself last year at the Zimmerhansel trying to hang on to Will Black's wheel, and he was on a mountain bike. And he was all like, "Oh, I'm not that fit, and I'm kind of training for something in about 6 months from now." And I buried myself just to hold on to his wheel.
So if you're on these really gnarly gravel roads that have all the I don't know what you call them, the chatter, the so what do you do?
What?
What is that?
Washboard.
Oh, the washboard, yeah.
You can handle that. You're a mountain biker.
But wouldn't that be better on a mountain bike, like skinny tire mountain bike, or?
You need to get something like I have, like a salsa cutthroat.
Ooh, what's this? Hang on, Austin. Hang on there. Let's see that, Austin.
Oh, I was just responding to Jim there. Very good race.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, sweet.
I heard that was sandy as a mofo.
Sandy as I have never. So that race had the most pavement I have ever done in a race.
Yeah.
And I was not even mad because the sandy sections were.
I heard it was a hike-a-bike for like 8 miles of sand or something.
Oh, man, I think so. The last
Leslie is loving this less and less every second.
Yeah, she's like, wait. So the
Screw
last
that.
sand section was, I think it was 5K, so like 3.1 miles is the last sand section before you hit 20 miles of pavement to get home.
20 miles.
Colin ran his bike to get the KOM on that section. Wow.
That's dedication.
And that last 20 miles of pavement, I was dead. I'm like, I'm so glad this is pavement. I'm so glad pavement, hard pack ground, but mostly pavement. I think there was 40 miles. There was 20 miles of pavement to enter the first sand section.
Really?
And the promoter's like, so you just want to haul ass, go as hard as you can, and so the front pack is doing 21, 22 miles an hour, just gassing themselves. Like I popped off twice, and then with somebody come behind, I catch back on, and then we turn into a volleyball court.
And did you all endo?
Like people like say it this way, but like the roadies. Or
you can say that.
Like all this window into it, it's just like, and it was so sandy. That was like, I thought Michigan, the coast to coast race is sandy, but this was deep sugar sand. So if you slowed, stopped, messed up, you're walking until you find a hard section again.
So what you're saying is my teammate on Mafia, Adam Reardon, I don't know if y'all have ever seen him go through a sand pit before. So he could have like double KOM'd on the El Camino 105. All right.
If you can ride sand, you can kill that ride.
No, he can't ride sand. He runs sand.
Runs it.
Nobody's business. Yeah.
He runs sand faster than most people can ride on grass. It's stupid. It is absolutely stupid.
Yeah, he's got some long, powerful legs.
He accelerates on the sand out of the grass. So, well, let's say about 5 more minutes. What? I know Leslie got cut off a couple of seconds ago, but it's better short than sweet. I started showing Austin's hat, and you were saying something, and all of a sudden. It's typical. A lady gets cut off, but
I was probably giving me shit about all that gravel. Like,
yeah. Okay, so anyway,
you haven't won my heart on the gravel yet. So
no, we're not doing a good job.
For us mountain bikers, woo, woo, woo,
you should come out on a pre-ride one time.
Definitely.
Those are fun.
Brett's been trying to get me to do that for like 3 years.
So I think in this case,
ride in the country for like hours where we see trees and woods and cows and weeds and
yeah, I did mention all those things. You're right.
I didn't mention anything about rock ledges, jumps, beer stops.
Well, we can bring beer. We can definitely do that. But I'd say, maybe this is the right call.
So if you like beer, then Mid-South is the ride for you.
Yeah.
Because there is an oasis where they've got whiskey, kegs, and Snickers, bourbon, and a fire, which I didn't make it to this year. So.
Ooh, so that must have been only on the 100, I'm guessing.
Yeah. It's usually at about in between mile 70 to 85. They have the oasis.
Yeah, so I've been talking with the owner of Chumba, Vince, and he's like, "Oh, I like setting up something on mid-course," and I'm so down with that. I love that idea, right?
You have people looking forward to something in between. I mean, I look forward to beer hand-ups in the middle of a cyclocross race. Honestly, when they're not there, I get kind of disappointed. Like, what? Where's the beer? Where can my ass up?
Uh-oh. We lost
Where did
Austin.
Austin go?
Where'd he go, buddy? Come on back. All right. Well, when he pops up, he may have been attacked by the death hornets or death wasp or whatever. So he's having
murder hornet. Is that what it is?
Murder hornet.
Yeah.
He's back. Woo.
He got confused and hit the wrong button. Did you smack the keyboard with your head or something?
I was trying to move windows, and I'm not quite sure what I did. Imagine that.
I say we need to call a Texas Gravel and CX Happy Hour recon here. Again, don't forget, we're allowed to have 4 people in the same spot for outdoor sports at this time. But yeah, Leslie, I think this is something we need to do. Think of it as research, okay? For the what's that? For she's drunk or been attacked and had all the blood sucked out of her by mosquitoes. Yeah,
I am. I'm being bitten back here, and I'm sacrificing myself for you.
It's actually harder than it looks.
I know.
Yeah, because I'm pointing to my right shoulder to get pointed.
Dun, 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 dun. Wait, I'm trying to get this. All right. Oh, wait. No, that's not what I meant to do. So I was trying to do that, and everybody's pointing at everybody else. I don't know. So
let's do this. Let's make a pact.
Yep.
I
will take you to Suburban Ninja. You take me on a gravel ride.
Deal. I'm down for that. And we'll let John know, and Austin can drive all the way across town, and maybe he can jump in too.
Yeah, we got to go together.
Yeah. Every time there's a 2-foot drop and I have to run my little cyclocross bike self down the thing, y'all can sit there and film me and make fun of me.
You can ride your cyclocross bike a Suburban Ninja.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that. No, I'm gonna take my mountain bike, but I'm probably gonna walk down the big drops.
No, there's a big drop. There's no big drops at Ninja.
No, it's like
Walnut.
It's like Walnut Creek, and I don't know, something else had a baby. It's really cool. It's a really cool little piece of land there.
Well, I'm down. Sunday, I'm supposed to look at it. So let's offline. Maybe we can talk and make some arrangements. That is Mother's Day, but if I go early enough, I can stay out of trouble. Speaking of, happy Mother's Day again to everybody.
And a happy Nurses Day. Isn't that happening
Sunday?
today?
I think it's Nurses
today. Today.
Happy Nurses
Day. The whole
Day.
Week? Is it a whole week?
They get a week now.
They deserve a year.
All those doctors talking down to them all week long, they deserve one full week. Not just a day, but they get a whole week.
No. They deserve more than that.
Before we go, too, Jim might be a good person to bring back to the Suburban Ninja, because the last time I took him, he hit his head on a branch. And if he rides before you, He might be able to we were all over.
Didn't he like break off like a 6-foot piece of the tree?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a lot of trail maintenance at Ninja, so you do have to be careful. So we should bring Jim.
Yeah.
To make sure that the trail's clear.
He's going to break off any branches that encroach upon the trail. Yeah. Well, it's a date then. So yeah, Sunday I'm supposed to look at those trails, and Saturday I'm going to be reconning a little bit of gravel. What's the plans for the Saturday, Leslie? What do you got going on Saturday?
I have my kids here, so for the weekend.
Entertaining. Good call.
So I will do whatever they wake up and decide we want to do. I cannot make plans this weekend.
I think you're supposed to make the plans, aren't you?
Well, I'm already planting the seeds, like, hey, how about a mountain bike this day? Hey, how about we hike this mountain this day? And I'm already getting that, really, can't we sleep till noon and just eat?
No. When it's kids' day, then they get to pick, but until they make one of those,
I know,
no.
their arms will be twisted to get up and do something with me. I pretty much rule the roost most weekends, so it doesn't make really a difference that it's Mother's Day, so.
That's the way it should be. You should rule the roost all the time.
Anyway, for just coming home to see me, they just usually want to be fed and want a nice, comfortable bed to sleep in. That's all.
You don't have to feed them, so that part should be taken care of.
I don't have to, but they're like, oh, I'm out of food. They don't like to, and it's like when they come home. Trust me, when they come back for the home cooking, they're like, oh. This is so good. I missed your food. They're
like hungry cats. They won't stop meowing until you take care of them.
They're like, oh, what are you making tonight? What are you making? And so, you always got to feed them when they come home.
Yeah. John, what are you doing Saturday? Anything fun?
Yeah, I'm supposed to go to Rocky Hill with Laura.
Sweet.
We're gonna go out and ride the trails out there.
Okay. So, all right.
We'll see how that works out.
It's going to work out fine for the two of you.
Like an anniversary almost ride, or
maybe I don't know what's going to happen. We're just going to go out and hang out, and I think she might have invited some of her friends with her too. So we'll see. Okay. We'll see what happens.
That doesn't feel very datey.
No, it's not a date.
You could invite your friends too.
You want to come with us, Austin?
Oh,
I would. I like Rocky Hill.
I do too. Yeah, I think we're all going to come and crash your party.
Crash it. Let's go.
So apparently we know what Austin's going to do this weekend on Saturday as well. Now he didn't have plans, but he does now. Wallace, there you go. 50 miles of gravel on Sunday.
Nice, Wallace.
So I don't know how many people know this, but Wallace is out right by Lockhart. And so he's got gravel, if I had to guess, about 3 miles out his front door.
Actually, it's from his front door through his driveway, and then there's gravel.
Well, no, because they paved the road that he lives on. Yeah, which really pissed me off because that's part of the new, currently postponed, but the new Wizardville route went right past his house practically, and it's all paved and all that. It wasn't paved last year. Thanks a lot, County. But that's the way that goes.
The best barns to take a picture of used to be right there too.
But it's gone?
The barn's there, but now there's pavement.
Okay, yeah, that ruined everything. All right, well, so hopefully maybe some of us can connect on Sunday. Y'all have fun on Saturday. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for great comments, questions. We did not decide the baggy versus...
yeah, we did. I think we didn't have a lot of chiming in, but I think you should just stick with the mountain bikers theory.
Okay, and that is, so what is the resounding vote from our panel of 3 here with us?
Baggies, when you want to that's when you're telling people you're being social and you're having fun and you want to go for beers. When you're in your lycra, spandex, whatever you want to call it, that means you're all business.
I don't know, when I'm in lycra, I want beer. When I'm wearing clothes, I want beer. If I'm naked,
I was thinking
good.
That qualifies for baggies as well, doesn't it? But see, the baggies have those little pockets on the sides most of the time. So you
can fit a lot of stuff.
The new kits they're coming out with have pockets.
Yeah,
they're like super tight cargo shorts.
Yeah, and
want to bring back.
Glenn says baggies.
Yeah. And so Glenn this past weekend had on a short. I think also TSA last year in the cyclocross races, their new kit had it, but their pockets built into the side of the kit. I don't know if you'd really want to put a beer in there because it'd be hot as hell after 30 minutes. But it really got me thinking. That's a brilliant little idea right there.
That'd be good for some gels, but the beers would be 45 degrees. They'd spill. That's not mathematically possible.
So you'd have to finish your whole beer before 30 minutes was up, Leslie. No, I think really that's the answer.
At least get it down 50% before you put it in your pocket and at 45-degree angle.
Yeah, well, you could just have a little straw running up from your shorts.
Well, that's a whole other type of story.
All right. Well, we've been talking for a while. This was fun, y'all. I really had a good time, and everybody that chimed in today, the Annettes and Jims and Glens and Slims and Wallace, everybody. Seriously, it was fun. Next week, I will get the link right. I think. Don't hold me to that because I'm not so good with the technical savvy stuff. But it'd be fun to have a good crew, just everybody talking. So thanks to the three of you. I really appreciate it, Leslie, John, and Austin.
Thank you.
Thanks to everybody that tuned in. We'll do this. I think. Are we doing this next weekend, everybody?
Thanks to you. There's a story.
We good.
Of a break.
Okay. So I'm so down. Everybody tune in next week. And I can't say that the show will be any better, but I can almost guarantee that you'll laugh. So
invite your friends.
Yeah, invite your friends, and I'll try and get the link better, more better for next week. So.
More better.
Yeah.
More
All right. Well, Texas, we'll see y'all soon. Everybody be safe this weekend. Happy Mother's Day. What were you going to say, Leslie?
Happy weekend. That's all I was going to say.
And now back to you, John and Austin. Y'all, what do y'all want to say? Anything?
Go ahead.
No. All right.
Bye, Jim. I love you.
All right. We love y'all. See you later. Peace.
Much love.
Peace.
Out.